writing a screenplay is very hard, and I've written all the movies that I've been in, except for My Life in Ruins. It was written by Mike Reese. But this is so much different. To write a book is harder, because it was real, and I was a bit worried about telling the real story. But I just thought if I can do it and tell a how to adopt story, I could possibly, hopefully, get more kids adopted. So I decided to take the deal, write the book, and now I'm terrified because now I'm about to go public. This was the first time tonight that I read a chapter, ever.
Tell us a few words about the first moment that you thought, okay, I'm going to look into adopting a kid.
Okay.
How did that come to you?
My husband and I were in the process for about 10 years of trying to be parents, and we had heard about all sorts of adoption, and we were on waiting lists for Greece and China, and here for, it's called domestic infant adoption, if you do it in the United States and in Canada. And we didn't get a call. We would get occasionally a call, but it was not the right match, or we didn't get matched, or we would hear about a child, we would try to get matched, we would not get picked. And it just kept happening over and over again. And then I found out about American foster care, and everyone, my parents, family, everyone was afraid, because we had heard those stories that the kids are damaged or in some way something bad has happened to them. But the more I found out about it, the more I found that we have 500,000 kids in foster care, 500,000. Of those kids, 130,000 are legally freed for adoption, like they are emancipated. So I looked into it, and I met with social workers. They came to our house. They gave us a home study where Ian and I tried to act like grown-ups all night. And then we got cleared as a home, and suddenly we got a call 9 months after we tried this process, and we were matched with our daughter. And because you do meet people and you find out if it's a match. We had never gotten a call. For us in American foster care, the first call was our match. But that is how it works. They sit you down to have a meeting, see how you get along.
With a kid?
With the child, and the child is not told that they're meeting potential parents.
Okay.
Yeah, because they don't need more rejection in their lives. And then if the parents want to proceed, then the child comes for a sleepover, and it's slow. We didn't have that process. Ours was different. We met her, we got a call. They said she is almost 3 years old. She's legally freed for adoption. Do you want to meet her? And I said, yes. And I said, when? And they said, tomorrow. Okay. So we went and met her, and then we waited to be matched, and then we got the call. And again, I said, when is she coming? And they said, tomorrow.
So it was unconditional love at first sight.
It really was. That's why I called the book Instant Mom, because after trying so hard to be a mom, the minute I met my daughter, I was a mom.
And how did the Greek parents, your Greek parents, take it? Was it a tough sell?
At first, my parents were worried when I said I wanted to adopt, and they said, the usual questions. And now that they realize my daughter is, of course, not damaged in any way, all the things that we found out about American foster care, that these kids are as normal as you and me. We're all crazy. And I think that that's the thing that I'm trying to say about kids in foster care. They're available. If you're looking to be a parent, they do not, American foster care doesn't discriminate. You can be gay, straight, older, younger, low income, high income, and you can adopt. So I thought, I got to tell people.
You talk about the process of adopting, how it happened, and all of that stuff.
Yes.
How is he taking all that, and what do you think he will think in the future about this?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Excellent question. I was very nervous about going public because, as you know, my husband Ian and I, even though we're actors, we are very private people. Sure. But now I'm about to expose my daughter's background. So every single story, I waited till she was old enough, and every story in the book, I asked her if it was okay if I could put it in, and she's a very funny kid.
How old is she, if we can ask you that?
Almost 8 years old now.
So she understands, yeah.
She understands, yeah. And for your first question about how does she understand, how does she cope with us being public people, I put that in the book. We have a way of, if someone asks me for a photo, you saw. I take pictures with everyone who asks because it's polite. But when we're with my daughter, it is what we call the family promise. So it has to be her decision. If she's okay with it, we do it. But mostly,
that's great.
We don't do it because she just wants us to be her mom and dad, and that's what we do. The book is available at all major bookstores, Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, your local bookstore down the street. And even though my accountant goes gray, trijes, every time I say we're donating part of the proceeds because we're sharing the proceeds with all the adoption groups that helped us become parents, there is a reason that I want to keep talking about the book. The more people buy this book and tell their friends, like telephone, telegram, telegreek, the more kids I hope will get adopted.
What does your daughter think about Greek school? All the Greek Americans and the Canadian Americans I've met, they all hated it. I don't know what was your experience, but you're doing it to her now, though. I don't know.
I know. That's why I say part of my Big Fat Greek Wedding is a documentary. I cannot believe I sent my daughter to Greek school. I hated it so much, but she loves it because I told her, you know, with kids, bribing is the best way. I told her if she learns Greek, I'll take her to Greece.
Okay. You haven't taken her yet?
No.
Are you guys going anytime soon?
We're going to go as soon as she learns Greek. I said to her, as soon as you come walk into the store and say, έχετε παγωτό? Ναι, έχω 2 ευρώ. Ναι, τι θέλετε? As soon as she can say something like that, ευχαριστώ πολύ, νόστιμο. As soon as she can say it, we're going to Greece.
So now let's go back to the movies. Are we going to see you doing anything? I know you have a few guest appearances on TV. I read that somewhere. Yeah. But how about you writing, you know, something again?
Yes, I have a deal with Paramount. I'm writing a movie for them right now called Leftovers. It's about a bunch of women who throw an all-night party.
Is there anything Greek in it?
Always, right? This nose. That's in all my movies.
So you're going to be in it?
Yes, I'm in it.
You did My Big Fat Greek Wedding besides being Greek. It was a huge thing for the independent cinema. You know, Cassavetes did it many years ago. You proved you can actually make your dream true and make some money. And you went to the stars, and then life went back to normal. How hard is to have made such a huge success in your life? And how much do you think, like, oh, I have to replicate that? I have to do that.
I think artistically you'd be dead inside if you ever tried to replicate it. Actually, now I see what you mean. That did happen to us, that we would all be asked to go into studio meetings and, you know, they'd say they wanted that again. And we just,
that's what I mean.
we would just go, I don't want to do that again, over and over again, you know?
From every point of view, you know, it was a huge success. How did it change you as a person, and how did it shape your dreams from then on, you know?
I kind of felt like all the doors opened for me, and I could just sort of do what I wanted after that. And I guess I just still pursue small films that tell good stories. I know that I shoulda, coulda, maybe woulda sold out and just done big studio movies and taken the paycheck, but I think my soul would have crumbled. I like scripts where I get control and then I can cast it and have fun, and you know, it's more fun. It's less. You know, when you do a big movie, there's a lot of studio pressure on you, and then it gets changed, and so I don't know. Maybe I am so happy because I got to keep my friends from before. Maybe if I had gone off on this crazy wild dream and gone from movie to movie, maybe my infrastructure would have crumbled. Maybe I would have lost all the good friends that I had from before the movie. Maybe they would have, you know, maybe it would have been hard to keep this, you know, my family so close together.